Welcome back to 24 Hours Trending News. French President Emmanuel Macron has urged Vladimir Putin to come back to the table and promise to deliver air defense systems to Ukraine in the midst of a massive new Russian bombing campaign. In a television interview, the French president criticized his Russian counterpart for having made the choice to involve Europe more in the war with the recent missile strikes and the general mobilization order to reinforce the army. Today, first of all, Vladimir Putin must stop this war, respect the territorial integrity of Ukraine and come back to the discussion table, he told public television channel France 2 on Wednesday night. This week's Russian missile bombardment targeting energy infrastructure and civilians was an attempt to break Ukrainian resistance, the president said, explaining his earlier comment that the escalation brought the war into a new phase. Macron defended his refusal to break off dialogue with the Russian leader since the February invasion, despite criticism of his stance including from Ukrainians, saying he would continue to talk to Putin whenever necessary. He reiterated that it would ultimately be up to Ukraine to decide when the conditions for negotiation would be met and that the stated aim was clear: return to the 1991 borders, before Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014, and of 4 Ukrainian regions at the end of September. The question is whether these war aims will only be achieved militarily, he said. I believe that at some point it will be in the interest of Ukraine and Russia to come back to the table and negotiate. The stability of our continent is the concern of all of us. We will have roles to play as guarantors, he went on, accepting that no negotiations would take place in the next few weeks and that Europe had to prepare to spend the winter in this context of war. In the meantime, Macron said France would continue to provide military assistance to Ukraine by delivering radars, systems and anti-aircraft missiles to counter Russian bombing and drone attacks, as well as Caesar guns. As NATO defense ministers met in Brussels, Paris said it would deliver its own anti-aircraft defense systems. France has also said it will reinforce its military presence on NATO's eastern flank in the coming weeks with additional troops, tanks and weapons. The French president also had a warning for Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus, Moscow's main ally, saying he would be in trouble if he became more involved in the conflict. Earlier this week the country's authoritarian leader said he was ordering troops to deploy with Russian forces near its border with Ukraine, without giving any timings. Macron said it was important to avoid an escalation with the conflict spreading to Ukraine's neighbors, and to prevent Moscow from using chemical or nuclear weapons. Addressing Putin's threats over the use of nuclear weapons, Macron reminded his audience that France also had a nuclear deterrent. The less we talk about the threat the more credible we are, he said. Too many people are talking about it. Following President Zelensky's call for more Western equipment to provide an aerial shield, Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov hailed a new era of air defense with the arrival of the Iris-T system from Germany and the upcoming delivery of an American NASAMS air defense system. The UK said on Thursday that it would provide Ukraine with additional air defense missiles, including munitions capable of shooting down cruise missiles. Also on Thursday, 15 European countries announced that they would jointly procure air defense systems to protect the continent under a newly created European Sky Shield initiative, spearheaded by Germany. Thanks for watching us today. Please subscribe us to update all the breaking news every day. See you again on 24 Hours Trending News channel.